we're going to go over the new patch together, talk about the changes, and see what's going on with it. Not only that, but we'll also check out Arrowhead's CEO comments about a roadmap, and we'll talk about a Quaser cannon buff and bug, it's both, and much more. If you find this video helpful or informative at any point, please give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon below. Hey Helldivers, we've got a brand new patch to dive into, and it turns out there were some sneaky changes to the weapons from the last patch. Let's start with the AR-23C Liberator Concussive. Its starting magazine count went up from 2 to 4, max spare magazines increased from 5 to 6, and the ergonomics effect shifted from 0 to -10. Now, this isn't a buff, it's a fix. These changes slipped into the previous patch by accident, and the devs have finally set it back to how it was meant to be. That's not all though, they've also tweaked the SG-225 Breaker Shotgun. Its starting magazine size dropped from 6 to 5, and max spare magazines went from 10 to 7. So again, it's the same deal here. These were unintentional changes that somehow wiggled their way into the last patch, and now the devs have reverted them to the original stats. Now I know what most of you are probably thinking, how does something like that even happen? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. My best guess is they were testing some tweaks, then decided, you know what, maybe we should just keep it how it was, but somehow forgot to switch it back before releasing the new patch about a week ago. Regardless, the recent adjustments have been reverted to the original stats, and that's pretty much it. Also, we've got some weapon and stratagem fixes to cover. They tackled a few issues like the weapon flashlights that kept flickering when you aim down the sights. Not only that, but energy-based weapons apparently weren't charging or overheating properly either. Those are sorted now too. Now let's jump into stratagems. If you're wondering, yes, they've rolled back the unintentional grenade launcher nerf. In the last patch, the projectiles were dipping low and you couldn't shoot them out as far as you could previously. Check this out, you'll see a clip here from before the patch, and now after the fix, you can launch those projectiles way further, basically bringing it back to its former glory. Right here they wrote, fixed an issue with wrong drag settings on the GL-21 grenade launcher projectiles that made them lose velocity faster than they should have. Yep, so you'll be able to shoot the grenade launcher properly again with its velocity back to normal, which I'm sure is exciting for all of you. On top of that, the developers reverted the shrapnel behavior for all kinds of weapons and grenades. They noted in the patch notes that there was a weird issue where shrapnel from surface hits was forced to shoot out in a southwest direction. Now it should properly spread in a 180-degree arc in the direction of the surface hit. Besides that, the Talon got a few tweaks. Nothing huge, but the developers have definitely ironed out some kinks and made improvements. For instance, there was a visual glitch when reloading while aiming down sights. Another issue popped up when the Talon overheated, you couldn't reload properly, but that's been fixed in the latest patch. The HUD now shows the correct ammo count too. When it comes to temperature, it resets to 0 after reloading now. They've also sorted out a visual effect bug when holding down the trigger, and finally for the Talon, they removed a slight charging delay with projectiles. On the topic of small fixes, there was a glitch where your account ID wouldn't show up in the pause menu. That problem has been solved. Not only that, but remember the gas effect thing? I thought it was a feature, but they've reverted it, so your controls don't get inverted when the gas hits you anymore. If you're not sure what I mean, check this out. Before, the gas would push you downward if you tried moving forward after getting hit, and vice versa. Under miscellaneous fixes, they also mention you can't stay frozen mid-air anymore while emoting with the kick or draw emotes. They explained it here by saying, the Jarn Diver override for the hover pack has been turned off effective today. This is reserved for General Brash and other Super 10-star generals. Fixed a bug with the draw and kick emotes that allowed players to stay floating in the air. Lastly, in the patch notes, there were quite a few crashes they tackled. You can see in the notes, they've fixed a crash tied to a ton of particles on screen, crashes when aiming down scoped weapons, and even crashes caused by factory strider convoys. Plus, there was a weird one where getting a Microsoft Teams message while playing would crash the game. So there's a few crash fixes, and as you all know, this is something they're always working on. I wouldn't bet on this being the last we see of crashes in the patch notes. Over on the Helldivers 2 support site, they've said crash bugs are an ongoing issue they're constantly tackling. So yeah, don't be shocked if you hit another crash with this update or a future one. Speaking of known issues, the support team updated the known issue notes and confirmed they're aware of the floating torso bug. I'll drop some sources below. Anyway, here's what the support team wrote. Helldivers' bodies might appear as a floating torso to other players. Yeah, you'll have to deal with the Ghost Diver bug for now until they drop a hotfix for it, but hey, at least they're fully aware of the issue, and you can expect a fix in an upcoming patch most likely. The only thing they didn't resolve with this patch are some of the armors that are bugged out, and I've already went over it in a different video, but pretty much the Hellbent armor is completely bugged out. There's no text on the chest plate. There's also a few armors I'm not going to mention, but you know, there's just a bunch of issues right now with certain armors that has yet to be resolved. I'm sure it'll happen in a different, update and whatnot. So just letting you guys know, it's not resolved just yet. You're going to have to wait it out a little bit longer. Overall, that basically sums up the patch notes and the known issues. I know it's nothing much, but it's something, right? At least the grenade launcher is back to normal. On that note, you know what's not back to normal? The Quaser cannon. After the recent patch, it now auto-charges itself, letting you shoot it instantly. This is an unintentional buff and bug rolled into one. Here's how it works. Spawn your Quaser cannon down by sending it down from the Super Destroyer, pick it up, charge the first shot, and fire. Then sling it on your back by switching weapons. After a few seconds, you'll notice it starts charging itself while it's on your back. Once it's fully charged, swap back to it, aim, and fire. No delays. You can repeat this as much as you want, but if you don't shoot it right away, it resets itself to normal, and you'll have to charge it manually again. Anyway, enjoy this temporary buff bug. While it lasts, I'm sure the devs will patch it out eventually. Moving along, let's backtrack a bit. I want to point out that the patch notes didn't mention anything about performance or optimization. Arrowhead's CEO confirmed it's in the works, though you can see it here in his reply to a fellow Helldiver asking about optimization. He also commented that the PS5 is running better after the recent patch. Here's what he had to say to a player. He wrote, "They tell me PS5 stability, it's among the best it's ever been. They're working hard on getting PC to the same level." There you go, something we didn't all catch about the recent patch. Apparently there are some changes and improvements for the PS5, and PC players will get the same treatment soon enough. If you missed it in the previous video, I mentioned how DLSS is on the developer's wish list, so that's something we can look forward to down the line for PC. The CEO also commented on a roadmap. There's a player here that asked, what's the reasoning for not giving the community a roadmap, milestones, key features, and so forth? In response, Shams, the CEO, wrote, "Two things, lack of initiative on our part, and that we aren't reliable enough in planning to be able to do that. Plus, the game is in flux, and we like not knowing what will happen next." Now, if I recall correctly, a couple of months back, the developers or the CEO were talking about possibly sharing a roadmap, but from that response, it doesn't seem like it's happening, at least not for now. They seem to love keeping the player base on their toes with surprises. What do you think? Is it cool to skip the roadmap, or would you prefer they lay out what we can expect? Let me know your thoughts. We're now going to talk about the Galactic War Map and the latest major orders. So you guys know how I went over it yesterday. Well, today I've got some good news. So with that said, if you check out the Galactic War Map, we can see that we're almost done liberating Borok. Then from there, all we have to do is head over to Esker and we're done. Have a good feeling we're gonna win this major order and hopefully stop Ivis from blowing up. However, I have a good feeling, or a bad feeling, that Meridia, the Singularity, is going to blow up Ivis no matter what. The reason why is because sure, we're going to suck out some of that dark energy, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be enough to fully stop it from reaching Ivis. Maybe Noblaria or Noblaria, whichever way it's pronounced. I think that one will have a good chance at stopping, but Ivis is definitely going to be gone. I have a good feeling on that. I keep saying good feeling, but what I'm trying to say is bad feeling. Yeah, so I think it's going to blow up regardless, but you guys can let me know what you think. Last but not least, we have the top 3 comments. If you Helldivers out there would like to be featured on the video, all you have to do is comment down below. The first comment comes from But First, He Lit It On Fire. It's good to see you again. Basically right here, you explained that the last one, Bortrock, was already at 91% liberation, and now we're supposed to liberate it again because they reset it. So yeah, that kind of does suck, right? I didn't even notice it, but you're not wrong at all. The second top comment comes from Chewy Blazer. The major order really is the difference between whether we save a planet or not. Damn. Yes, indeed, and this time, we're most likely going to succeed because all we have to do is liberate 2 planets and we're almost done. Last but not least, we have DNA I really don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry, but you said, the fact is, planets have had 25-30k on low-level defense, and yet we've not taken over that planet at all. The growth is a joke. So yeah, a lot of you are upset about the major order. I don't know what to tell you, but hey, at least we're on, we're on our way of winning. So we just got to continue pushing forward, and that's it. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to everyone that's subscribed, turns on, notifications and all that good stuff. Even you guys out there that are not subscribed, I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully at some point you'll subscribe. But thank you so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one.